evening and welcome to this week's edition of Business News. My name is Joy Ubani. Note that this broadcast is reaching you live on Star Times Channel 103 and on our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube. Please do well to like and follow our page. Now, before we start, recently National Bureau of Statistics evaluates the Consumer Price Index on a year-on-year on food inflation rate. In March 2024 was 40.01%, which was 15.56% points higher compared to 4.5% rate recorded in March 2023. The rise in food inflation affected items like garri, millets, akpu, uncooked, fermented, and other staple foods. Howbeit, Business News tonight, we highlight the cost of garri in the market and how Nigerians are coping with inflation rate. All these and other stories in the week will form our bulletin. Please stay tuned. Let's start the news with the security sector. The Nigerian Navy remains a strategic enabler in the attainment of poverty eradication, especially through the enormous potentials of the blue economy. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this at the launch of two high-endurance offshore patrol vessels in Turkey, where she performed the age-long tradition of slipping the ship into water. She says the 76 meters high vessels are a testament of the commitment of Tinubu administration towards achieving a more secure maritime environment for economic development. Appreciating the designed shipyard for the high quality shipbuilding capacity as well as for attaining this milestone, the First Lady says the gathering will undoubtedly strengthen relationship within Nigerian Navy and the shipyard as well as between Nigeria and Turkish government. While expressing optimism that the newly launched vessels will enhance Nigeria's maritime sector, Minister of State for Defense Bello Matawali praises the Nigerian Navy's commitment towards not just securing the nation's territorial waters but also seeing to improved blue economy. Chief of the Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala notes that the commitment of President Bola Tinubu to the welfare of men of the Nigerian Navy and his resolve to provide all that is needed to enhance their job will ultimately result in reduced crimes in the maritime domain. In their remarks, Deputy Minister of Defense Seun Alpa and the Secretary of Defense Holko Oganko note that there is room for more cooperation with Nigeria not only in the area of security but also economic development. In a similar development, Operation Delta Sanity says it has stemmed the tide of criminal activities within the nation's maritime borders to the barest minimum and resulted the confidence of legitimate business operators. This was when the commander NLS Jubilee Maritime's Faruga was speaking on efforts of the command to improve security along coastal lines. Calvin Samuel brings us the details.
In the past, sea robbery, smuggling, and crude oil theft were serious concerns, especially to legitimate businessmen and women whose sources of livelihood are majorly from the maritime domain. This, the Commander NNS Jubilee Commodore Martins Fakruga says with the introduction of the Operation Delta Sanity is in the past with several arrests made to serve as deterrents while recovering bunkering equipment.
The arrest of MV Jasmine, which with collaboration with one of the IOCs, we were able to identify, track them from the oil well which they were stealing, and pursue them up to the border within Cameroon. And with some diplomatic connections, they were pushed back into the Nigerian waters before they were arrested and handed over to Ikulu, handed over the vessel to Ibaka, which contains over 30,000 liters of crude. Over 14 wooden boats, what they call Cotonou boats, laden with illegally refined crude, oil, arrested and destroyed. Also, tanker trucks laden with this illegal, about 7 of them.
The feat the commander notes is made possible in collaboration with sister security agencies in Akwa Ibom State. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
Away from security, all is set for the official inauguration of Memories FM 96.5 FM Uyo as last-minute activities ahead of its formal opening by the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Umoeno, on Monday in top shape. Evelyn Badu Ebo reports.
Memories FM 96.5 is part of Great Memories Media Limited, transmitting on frequency modulation 96.5. The radio station can be classified as the 14th radio station in Akwa Ibom State and is set for greater achievements as activities to mark its formal opening climaxes. Chief Executive Officer, Memories 96.5 FM, Ubong Andresin, speaking on level of preparedness, describes the radio station's success story as a long work of resilience and determination that has yielded a positive outcome.
Doggedness, determination. We started all the way from Lagos, published Celebration magazine, then we published the New Vision newspaper before we ventured into media content production.
Part of his success story is also urged on people-oriented programs and services.
It's been very encouraging. Have very good hands. The young people that are here, we recruited them from some of the best hands from in the industry. If you enter the street, most of the shops sit out. The KK people, they tune to Memories FM because we have programs that, we have content that are people oriented.
We started somewhere, but in a space of 1 year, we've been able to learn and we've been able to build up ourselves to a standard that we can compete anywhere in the world.
I can tell you that the feedback we get from people out there, our listeners, is encouraging.
Memories 96.5 FM, located at Akaitinan Road, Uyo, will formally be inaugurated by the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State on Monday, April 22, 2024. Evelyn Badu Ekpo, NTA News.
Moving ahead, the University of Uyo will hold its 100th inaugural lecture on Thursday, 25 April 2024. The lecture will be delivered by Professor Imo Abang Emeyi, a professor of African American Literature and Gender Studies, Department of English, Faculty of Art, University of Uyo. The lecture titled Subjecting the Subject to a Dialogue of Voices will hold at the 1,000-seater third form auditorium at the main campus of the university, Waniba Road, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All members of Senate, the university community, and guests are to be seated by 2:40 p.m. Now, she was up and about her source of livelihood as a makeup artist, and in one of such occasions, she lost her life in the process, leaving the social media awash with reports of the both mishap that claimed her life alongside Junior Pope and others. Just when many may think that the last is heard of the demise of 24-year-old Abigail Frederick, the late Akwa Ibom born Nollywood actress Her incomplete said family house is being renovated, Kosi, the Akwa Ibom State Governor. Kevin Samuel takes the story from her on a number of things around the quiet life of Frederick family whose irreplaceable loss is better imagined.
The incident of Wednesday, April 10, 2024, which took the lives of some Nollywood actors, has left many mourning across the country and beyond. In Akwa Ibom State, young Nollywood makeup artist Abigail Frederick was among those who couldn't make it out of the water alive. Her corpse was buried by the river bank. Then the governor heard of the incident and immediately sworn into action to ensure decent funeral of the deceased and better life for those she left behind.
You're not just governor when people are celebrating. At times like this, you are their governor too, and you become the mourner-in-chief and come round, console them, give them hope, and I trust that the Holy Spirit will perfect that hope in their lives. You know, it's most painful, I can tell you. We cannot leave them alone. You know, we're like the Americans. You don't leave yours alone. Except things are not brought to my attention, there's no way we'll... Under this kind of situation, a young child, a young girl, fending for herself, now, you know, I can't stand here to say we will do this, but I can all assure you that I've spoken to the parents. We are here to give them succor, and by the grace of God, we'll do that.
The body had been exhumed. We brought coffin, we brought her back, and the burial was conducted. Yeah, it was a sorrowful event, but again, at least she was buried decently. And then His Excellency the Governor, like you heard, when he paid a condolence visit to the family, he had directed some interventions.
Well, we are very happy to have the governor with us. It is now that we feel that our situation is being looked into. We are not alone in this.
The body has since been buried in her hometown, while mechanisms have been set in motion for the speedy actualization of the governor's promises to the family. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
You're still watching Business News in NTA Uyo. We'll take commercials, and when we return, Business News continue. Please stay tuned.
One passenger. Big auntie, go enter this bus.
Ha! Oga conductor, this guy cough na serious matter. You suppose go hospital.
Hospital care.
Haba, doctors don talk am say different types of cough dey. Some na dry cough, but this your own na wet cough e be.
Big auntie, na God go bless you. I don tire for this my conductor and him cough wey no gree go. E fit even be tuberculosis.
Conductor, go check am o, make you dey sure, because who no go no go know.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am o, make you dey sure.
If cough don't worry you past 2 weeks, if it be tuberculosis, TB test and treatment, na free. Just call the National TB Hotline for 3340 or dial *3340# to get better information. This message now from the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people then.
The management of Great Memories Media Limited cordially invites the public to the official opening ceremony of our radio station, Memories 96.5 FM, under the distinguished chairmanship of Engineer Owemo Koko, Chairman CEO, Hensec Integrated Services Limited, Uyo. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Pastor Umo Basieno, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Father of the Day, His Excellency, Mr. Udom Gabriel Emmanuel, immediate past Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Special guest, His Royal Majesty Oba Bolahon Akombi Chemsin, the Jagumulu of Shomulu Bariga III, Oba of Bariga, Lagos. Date, Monday, 22nd April 2024. Venue, the open field, NTA premises, Akaitinan Road, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Time, midday. Come and be part of this memorable event. Announcer, Management.
for virtual children's paper presentation.
Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Children, get ready. Put your thoughts together in a well-articulated pattern to paper and stand a chance of winning fantastic prizes. Submit a write-up on the given themes.
Junior category 8 to 11 years.
The impact of skill acquisition on the education of the child.
Senior category 12 to 15 years.
The effect of social media on parents-children relationship. Shortlisted candidates will be invited for virtual paper presentation via Zoom and grand finale. Interested schools should register and submit entries on or before May 16, 2024.
Rate 20,000 naira for 5 entries per school. Venue NTA Channel 12 for Kaitinan Road, Uyo, or NTA Uyo at yahoo.co.uk.
First prize 100,000 naira. Second prize 70,000 naira. And third prize 50,000 naira. Plus many consolation prizes.
For inquiries, please call Ekaite on 0904 643 6412.
Emem on 0803 657 9721. And Miriam on 0806 429 4907. Our children, teach them well and let them lead.
Enjoy the delicious creamy goodness of cowbell with Vitarich and vitamin B9, which supports brain development. Cowbell, so creamy, so good.
One passenger, big auntie. Come and enter my bus now.
Hey, conductor, this cough is serious. Abeg, you need to go to the hospital.
Hospital?
Doctors say cough symptoms are different in every condition. Some are dry, others are wet, like your own.
God bless you, auntie. I have told this my conductor. The cough has refused to go, and it could be tuberculosis.
Conductor, check am o. Make you dey sure, because who no go, no go, no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check 'em all, make you dey sure.
If your cough is more than 2 weeks, it could be tuberculosis. TB test and TB treatment are free. Just call the National TB Hotline on 3340 or dial *3340# for more information. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people.
Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. Now to business news. The Federation Account Allocation Committee at its March 2024 meeting shared a total sum of 1.123 trillion naira to the 3 tiers of government as federation allocation for the month of March 2024 from a gross total of 1.867 trillion naira. From the state's amount, the federal government received 345.890 and 90.890 billion naira. The state received 398.689 billion naira. The allocation, the local government councils got 288.688 billion naira, and the oil producing states received 90.124 billion naira as derivation. The communique issued at Federation Accounts Allocation Committee at the end of the meeting indicates that the gross revenue from value-added tax for March 2024 was 549.698 billion, which was an increase from the previous month. and was distributed among the three tiers of government. It added that the gross statutory revenue of 1,070 trillion naira received in the month was lower than the previous month, and the remaining balance was also distributed among the three tiers of government. The balance in the excess crude account as of April 2024 stands at 473,754.57 US dollars. Still on business news, the soaring cost of kerosene is facing families across Akwa Ibom State to seek other alternative. This development is not only putting strain on household budget, but also limiting access to basic energy services. Mary Ann Antia has the details.
With the new price of kerosene at 1,000 naira per litre, the common man can no longer afford the use of this petroleum product. The situation is raising concerns, thereby causing reactions by citizens as to how it affects them.
It affects everything about the people, and this is what the people is in need of to use for their daily food or whatever. There's no light, and kerosene is high, gas is high, so it affects because the government should come in, reduce prices for people.
Increment in kerosene price have affected a lot of people. I can remember those days kerosene was so down to earth that anybody in the village could afford, even in bottles. People were complaining that the increment in kerosene price is as a result of the hike in dollars price. But recently, dollar has been reduced.
On reducing this price because it's really affecting like those that don't have access to gas, because even the gas is not also low affordable. So they have to do something about it. I have no idea.
Speaking to some users of kerosene, some of them decried the continuous increase in price of the product irrespective of its availability.
You see in the market price, why is kerosene still high? Is it because people have decided to take advantage of that and defraud some common Nigerians? To me, I think we personally should work towards self-integrity. If you're a marketer, market it well and don't use it to fraud the people.
Residents in Akwa Ibom State, in attempt to cushion the impact on the cost of kerosene, have resorted to other alternatives, the commonest being the use of firewood with its attendant effects.
The price of kerosene has disturbed a lot of people. They now return to firewood, coloring their house with smokes and other things. So they should reduce the price of kerosene for the common people.
Well, that's before we were using stove to cook. So now because of the increase and the cost of economics when it comes to kerosene, now use gas.
The residents, however, are calling on the government to take necessary actions to make kerosene affordable, especially for the masses. In Uyo, Mary Ann Antia, NTA News.
Now, as the prices of staple food continues to increase in the market, residents in Uyo are lamenting on their inability to afford garri for their families. Business News correspondent Praise Ikerete reports that garri in the market is sold at 2 cups for 500 naira and a custard bucket between 3,200 and 3,500 naira in some places, as against 1,200 for a custard bucket of garri and 5 to 6 cups for 500 naira in recent past.
Garri is not imported. Why should it be as much as 1 cup for 200 naira?
Garri is very costly in this our country. One pint of garri is 3,500.
Some of our things are not even bought with dollar and they are not being exported. They are made locally here, and then they are still making it as if they are using dollar to buy.
The price of garri, a popular staple food in Nigeria, has increased by over 100% in the market in the last few months. Reacting to these developments, some residents in Uyo say the increase is owing to some uncertainties surrounding Nigeria's economy.
This time, they cut the cassava stick and plant. When you harvest that cassava, the cassava will be water, it not get starch. that's the main reason this Gary they cost this time like that.
Getting all these things from the local area down to where it is needed is very expensive, and they have to capture this as a cost.
Problem is let fuel come down.
However, Business News crew sought to find out from Gary dealers while the continuous increase and unstable prices in the market.
They sell this Gary according to how they buy this Gary, and the Gary is not one place where we they go.
There's a bag that we sell 105,000. The small bag is 75,000. It's 18,000. Yes. The big one is 25,000.
The expenses now. Why? Because when the people buy from that side, come this side, they sell it costly for us.
Gary, according to correspondents, is no longer poor man's food. Howbeit, they are looking onto government on stabilizing and controlling prices of commodities in the market.
The government should, if it's to bring an agency or some people that could come and monitor selling of prices, also bringing it down by force, so that the masses can buy something and buy tangible things to take home. The thing is too much now that
government have to step in, maybe do a kind of liberate the issue of transportation, make fuel available at a reduced price, because they are all telling us that fuel is very expensive.
They should plant more cassava. They should go into agriculture, because industry that shouting is not helping us. We need food.
With the intervention of government on price control and fuel reduction, residents say it will go a long way to bring down the inflation on commodities. Praise Ekirete, NTA News.
And that's much we can take on Business News tonight. We thank you very much for being part of this bulletin. Until next week, good night.